So let's get started on AVer Plus, the anatomy and the features of the software itself. And this whole presentation was created in AVer Plus. So what you see right now is something that you can do using the software. I'm just going through all of my different slides that I've created in this particular project. When you open AVer Plus, this is what you see. Basically, you have a large white canvas that you can put anything on. The software is object-based, so you can put pictures on it, text boxes, shapes, lines. Everything you put on this white space will become an object that can be moved, edited, all that good stuff. But you'll also notice down here at the bottom your toolbar that will show up automatically, as well as an option panel up here at the very, very top. If you have a PC, it will look just like this. If you have a Mac, you'll also see a menu bar that's at the very top. If you do use a PC like I am using right now, you have to actually move your mouse all the way up to the very top of the screen, and the menu bar will fall. So that's what you'll see when you very first open the software. There's also a trash can where you can drag your objects to throw them into the trash in your project. But I'm going to go forward a slide here. I've created some labels for everything that you see, so you kind of get a better understanding for the anatomy of the software. So like I said, down here at the bottom you have your toolbar. There's about 13 different tools that you can use in AVer Plus. The first eight or nine are pretty basic. You've got your freehand tool, your straight line tool, your eraser tool, text box tool. This is a really important one we're going to go over in the next slide. This is the move tool. Some shapes, AVer Plus capture, special tools. We'll talk about all these later on. But this is your toolbar, so this is how you access all of your tools. Any tool that you push will give you some different options in your options panel. So you have some different freehand options, some different straight line options, different eraser options, text options. You get the idea. So any tool you'll push will then change your options panel that you have available on the left-hand side of the screen here. You can always make these disappear by hitting the X, and they will go away if you don't like them crowding your space. If you go up to the menu bar at the top here, you'll notice a lot of tabs that you're probably pretty familiar with. File, that's how you can save, print, close. You know, you're all familiar with the File tab. But there are some additional buttons here at the end that are probably pretty unfamiliar. The plus button is for adding a page to your project. So you've noticed I've already gone through about 5 pages, and I've just created those pages by hitting that plus button to add a page to my project. And I can go backward or forward in my project by clicking on these arrows. This will just restore your window size if you've minimized it or maximized it. And these last 3 we'll cover later on in the presentation. They're a little more advanced. And this is how you minimize the window and obviously exit out of AVer Plus altogether. But you'll also notice I have a couple of other labels over here. And these windows don't automatically open. And I always suggest opening them because it will make your life easier. You go to Window, and that's where you can choose what windows are going to be open in AVer Plus. And you see you have about 7 different options here, 6. The Options panel has a check mark next to it because our Options panel is open. Same with Toolbar. It's open at the bottom. Page Browser, I always suggest opening that. And also the Property panel, and I'll explain what these are. The Page Browser is, as I noted before, you can create pages and go forward and backward in your presentation. The Page Browser just gives you a visual aid of the pages in your project. So you'll see, I'm going to use this little scroll bar and go up a little bit. You'll see that I have my title page, my table of contents, my AVer Plus title. You can just see this is my presentation kind of in a bird's eye view. You can see all the pages that I have available. And I can quickly access any of the pages just by clicking on them. So if I wanted to go to page 8 in this presentation, I could simply click on it. Or I could use the arrow keys to go back and forth. The Property panel is used to customize any of your tools. So you'll notice over here I have 4 different text options because I've selected the text tool. If I want to customize any of these, it's very easy as long as I have my Property panel open. So if I wanted, for instance, to change this last text option down here to be a different text, I would just click on it because now it's selected. It has the orange box around it. and I can select the T for the text tab in my property panel, and I can select different text. I can select different styles, whether it be bold, underline, italic. I can also change the size. I can change the first tab is to customize your colors. So I could change the color if I wanted to. I could also change the transparency level if I wanted the words to be semi-transparent. This is just what allows you to get really creative with the tools that you are using. And it works the same for freehand. So if I want to customize any of my freehand color, line type, line width, transparency level, I can use my property panel to change anything. Same thing with straight line. Obviously text I've already shown you, and you can also customize some of the shapes that are available. So if I wanted to change the shape, I could select my shape tab over here and select a different shape to make that either a circle or something else, and I could change the fill color, the external color, transparency level, all that stuff using the property panel. So that's just something that you'll probably use a lot when you're creating a AVer Plus project. So we'll move on to the next slide. I'm going to actually get rid of these windows just so they're not crowding space. And we'll move on to the move.